I think I mentioned I talked to Devin this morning, and he's got a big fight on his hand with Brian Norman Jr. I know you and your dad grew up with the Normans, and there's been a lot of back and forth. You got Brian wearing that war hat, which you may be too young, but I'm sure you've seen Hagler. Yeah, and just reminiscent. And I asked him if this was a super fight nobody saw coming. Give me your thoughts on that fight, because that has fight of the year potential.
I'm just going to say to everyone that does not know Brian Norman, I mean, don't be shocked if he knocks Devin out. I grew up with Brian Norman. I seen him knocking dudes out, when we were in the gym sparring, and knocking adults out at 14. So I say don't sleep on Brian. I feel like Brian's going to edge out the victory. That's my guy, so,
Your dad thought differently, though, right? Your dad was leaning towards Devin?
I think he was leaning towards Devin like 50-50, only because Devin has the so-called feet. But you can't like not go 12 rounds without getting hit one time, and we know Brian cracking. So I just feel like Brian gonna possibly stop Devin. Plus I don't like Devin anyway. So.
And Devin, I asked Devin about the left hook, which did him in against Ryan. But he says he's learned from every fight. He's prepared for everything. He's been watching Norman, and pretty much will handicap anything that he brings to the table.
I don't think he'll handicap everything. I think he might make it difficult for Brian in the beginning, due to the feet movement. But we haven't seen Brian have to use his feet, so who are we to say he don't got feet movement? Every fight that he's had with these, guys want him to stand toe to toe. It shows what he can do with that. So hopefully he shows us what he can do when Devin, is possibly running, because he's not going to stand toe to toe with Brian. So may the best man win. I don't really like Devin, but if he edges out the victory, congratulations to him. And I just hope Brian can get the victory and show he's one of the guys on top.
I told Devin today, he seems like one of the few guys like you, like Bud, like Canelo, like David Benavidez, that you're not just chasing a bag, but you are chasing legacy, and that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I got to give Devin that. I got to give him his credit. He's having those fights. You can't say his resume sucks, because he's fighting all the top guys. Even moving up to 147 to fight the champion, and he's never fought at 147. You got to give credit where credit is due, even if he's a weirdo. So.
And what about this fight tomorrow night? I asked Vergil yesterday. I said to him, it seems like at every weight class he goes to, 140, 147, 154, it's like the most stacked division in boxing. Still doesn't have a title, but he might have the best resume at 154 as well without a title. What are your thoughts? And Erickson Lubin seems ready. He knows this might be his last shot for a title. He's had two tough losses. But what are your thoughts on the fight tomorrow?
I think it's a hard fight for both fighters. I feel like neither one of them could sleep on each other. I mean, Lubin has been here for a very long time. He was a top prospect amateur, I remember my dad telling me. So it's a fight, it's a 50-50 fight, Whoever lands the first shot, I'm going to say whoever lands the first shot. But I feel like Lubin is more like acquainted at 154, more than Vergil is. I don't know how many fights Vergil had at 154, so I know it wasn't as much as Lubin. I think Lubin came into the pros at 154, so we'll see how tomorrow plays out.
Do you give I don't know if there's such thing as home court advantage, but this obviously Vergil's backyard, grew up in Grand Prairie, another Texan like you. Does that give him an edge in a fight?
I don't think so. I don't believe in home court advantage. I feel like you might be a little more comfortable fighting at home opposed to somewhere else, but the home court advantage, the fans, none of that can fight for you. At the end of the day, it's just you two in the ring. So I'm not a believer in the home court advantage.
All right, you heard it here. Floyd Kid Austin Schofield Jr. here at the weigh-ins, and looks like in a better spirit than he was when he first had his injury. Be back in the ring in not so distant future. And we'll see you tomorrow night, I assume.
See you tomorrow, brother.
Awesome. Thank you.
No, thank you.